I'm going to pretend that today Brent's not on because he's sleeping. He's overslept. He's just okay, it's a lie. Actually, Brent got called on to a call with corporate, dealing with some of the stuff that anyway, he's dealing with stuff. So we have me this morning, but I'm going to pretend that he slept in. I'm going to tease him about it all week because that'll make me feel better as a person. But the word that we're going to talk about today is peace. So I'm going to do a quick lesson. So we might be a little short today, but Carol, I was glad you were here because this is one of Carol's words for the year. And gosh, I actually had this. Oh, we forgot waves. Melissa, thank you. Big waves out there. TL, I love you guys. That's the best part. Does it not? Like I get all, okay, anyway, sorry. Got a little excited there. So excited that I forgot I had a job. So the big waves, thank you so much for that reminder. But I've had peace as a word. That this was my word for the year a couple of years ago. And I was actually going through a kind of non-peaceful, unpeaceful, I don't know how you say that. Not a lot of peace in that season. And I thought, you know what? Joy would be great. But sometimes we need something between, right? We got to get to the neutral before we can get into the bigger. And so I really was just hoping for peace and really use that to manage like all of my conversations. And now give you some idea, if you have a young teen female in your house, peace is hard to come by sometimes. She's older now. She is an angel. Thank you. Let's keep her that way. Beautiful. Thank you, blessed. But man, that like 12, 13, 14, somewhere in that range is a rough time for a young female. Like I remember myself, I was a little bit evil and the apple did not fall far from that tree. And so it's hard to find peace in those moments. And thankfully we're on the other side. But what does peace mean? And I just picture this time where it's kind of fun. But anyway, freedom from disturbance, tranquility, harmony in personal relations, calm and quiet. And, I named my son Chase, and I used to joke, I still kind of joke that I should have named him Calm because maybe I wouldn't always have to be chasing him. When I picked that name, like, did I create that? Or was that like foresight? I don't know, but wouldn't calm be lovely? And to find peace, sometimes you have to be willing to lose your connection with the people, places, and things that create all the noise in your life. So sometimes we have to let certain things go in order to pull in peace. So, and then the next thing we're going to hear from Buddha, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. And, peace is the result of the retraining your mind to process life as it is rather than how you think it should be. And Wayne Dyer and Cheryl, thank you for that. But ask my mom. I remember in middle school making my mom cry in the car on the way to school, like with a lot of frequency. So sorry, Mom. Sorry to you too. But what can we do in our life to cultivate peace when maybe our surroundings are not peaceful? What can we do to cultivate peace when maybe we have some difficult humans that we love and we want to keep, but they're just maybe in a difficult season or different things like that? How can you and I cultivate peace right now, even when things aren't peaceful? So first of all, set limits, have some boundaries. And man, oh man, if there's any other people pleasers on here, boundaries can feel awful. I actually just read a book, How to Do the Work is the name of the book. And it's talking about one of the main chapters was how to set boundaries. And if you're a person that typically, if Colleen calls me and says, hey, can you run across country and do this? I'm like, well, if you really need it, okay. And then maybe she, calls me at 4 a.m, but that's my sleepy time, but she needed me at 4 a.m. So I'm going to pick up the phone, or, that just, you don't have a lot of boundaries around your life because you want to make sure that everybody else is taken care of. That can that can really take a lot of peace. So find a way to set those boundaries, and you can start small. It might be that, when you're drinking your coffee, the kids can't ask for any demands. So give mom the 15 minutes to have that first like quarter cup of coffee without anything getting asked of me. Or maybe you turn off your phone for those 15 minutes while you're enjoying that time. But start small and we can build up. Next with that is don't make mountains out of molehills. So some things really are a big deal. They really are. But most things aren't. And so we can work on our perspective of, oh my gosh, oh, well, I'm going to be okay. You know, well, I'll think about it right now. I have an auto ship with a grocery store that they, you know, bring me my staples, you know, every other week, the things that the household needs. And I have to approve it though, before they send it. And I forgot to approve it. So I missed my window. So, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go to the real grocery store and deal with real humans and all of these things. But that's a molehill. Hill's laughing at me, but that is a small thing. It's not a big thing. And remember that. Number 3 is to unclutter our world in order to unclutter our mind. So when you walk into your bedroom, like, do you feel peace? When you walk into your home, do you feel that, like, don't you love that feeling where you're like, oh, I'm here, I'm in my safe space. But sometimes we can walk in, I think about my office, or gosh, the desktop of my computer. Tracy Turnberg's actually made fun of me about that before. When there's 8 million files open and there's, you know, you look around my office and it's a disaster, it can take away some of that peace. So make your surroundings as peaceful as possible, and that's going to help you feel more peaceful. Next is be 10 minutes early. So number 4, be 10 minutes early. So if you've got to be somewhere, if you just automatically, and this can be a hard jest, but automatically give yourself that wiggle room, doesn't it make your drive so much easier? Doesn't it make you feel better? Because you're like, ooh, maybe I can sit in my car and just take some deep rest for a couple minutes before I have to run into the doctor's office or wherever it is that you're going, that you have those quiet moments. And if you hit 4 red lights in a row and you can't seem to get there for anything, you're not as stressed about it because you know you have that gap. Number 5 is accept and let go. So the question that I have asked myself my entire life, well, maybe past that teenage years, is, do I want to be happy or do I want to be right? And a lot of times I'm okay with just being happy. I don't need to be right. Now, maybe I might be thinking in the back of my mind that I really am, but I can let things go because I would much rather have peace in my relationships, happiness in my relationships, and not worry about being right. I think peace is probably better than right 9 times out of 10. And then lastly, ask instead of guess. I feel like so much of our conflict in this, you know, our lives, be it in personal relationships or business relationships or anything that we're dealing with, is that we are making assumptions. So, you know, I call Valerie and she's like, hey, I can't think of anything, Valerie. Hey, what's the best golf course in Northern Alabama? And I'm going to assume that she's coming to Alabama and maybe she's not going to visit me. And I'm so sad. And I'm in my head, I'm making all these assumptions that she's planning this trip. I'm being a little dramatic here. And she's not including me. But maybe she just has a pal that wants to go golfing in Alabama and she wants to recommend it. And I got my toes stepped on and my feelings hurt for no reason. So ask, Valerie, are you coming to Alabama? And she says no. Then I go, oh, okay. And I'm back in that place of peace because my feelings aren't hurt because she's going to visit me when she comes to Alabama, right, Valerie? So ask those questions. That was a silly one, but we have those all day where, you know, somebody, can you make a flyer for me? Well, would you like me to teach you how to make a flyer, or is this a one-off thing or whatever? I don't know. That was a small one too. Whatever it may be, if we just get clarification, we can feel better and have peace about it and decide if it's something that we want to do moving forward or something that perhaps we shouldn't. So, and then the last thing that I am going to leave you with is a Bible quote. And if you are a reader of the Bible, this is probably one that we all love. And it says, I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. And that's John 16:33. And I love the last way that we can find peace is we know that there's something bigger. There's something that we can lean on, that it will absolutely win in the end and bring us peace right now. So thank you guys so much for this today. Hopefully it was fun with just me and Coach napping over there, and we can all make fun of him back on Monday. So love you guys. Hope you have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the big reveal if you're part of what we're doing. Love you guys so much. Have a great
Bye.
Friday.
Thank